subscriber confronted me. Oh, and I'm a little concerned. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. So, as you know, I live off grid, and I try to stay as isolated to myself as possible. My wife, Carolyn, she lives with me. We live in a little tiny house. It's 12 by 16. I built it myself, didn't need anybody's help. We bought this piece of property, we paid cash for it, gave it to the guy. He took us to the title company where we exchanged the cash and the title. And I was a proud owner of an acre and a half. Had a trailer, mobile home trailer frame on it. The mobile home had fallen down, we had to clean it up. Had a well, and half of the property is wooded. I tell you, when Dad came down here, he was just overly impressed with the property. You know, half of it's wooded and half of it's cleared. It really doesn't seem like it's just an acre and a half. It seems a lot bigger. And it's a nice area. It's not too far away from the basic needs. I know people are gonna say, you don't live off grid. Well, that's your definition. But I mean, there's a gas station not too far away, and if we had to, we could walk to it. A little further away, there's a little mom and pop grocery store. A Dollar General a little further away from that. And like I said, we could walk to it all if we absolutely had to. But one of the things is Carolyn and I don't like being around people. And I know people find that very hard to believe. And some people actually don't think it's mentally healthy. And quite frankly, I don't care if it's mentally healthy or not. I'm not hurting anybody. As long as, I mean, what difference does it make if I stay here by myself? Well, you could be the Unabomber. Well, until there's some proof of that, let's just go with I'm not. We live here and we're in isolation. Everything we have done by ourselves here. We've not asked for any help. Of course, I tried to share my knowledge on YouTube, and I feel like in exchange, I'm able to use Google to gain information. So, you know, there's a sharing of knowledge, because some people say, well, if you really lived off grid, you wouldn't need Google. Well, people just seem to have unrealistic views on both extremes. Either you got to be so isolated you live on the moon, or you have to have everybody around you to help. And what I've learned about help is, well, really there's two types of help. Two definitions, actually. And depending on who you are, depends on what definition you use. One definition is hey, I'm putting a roof on Monday, and I was wondering if you could come over and hammer in some nails with me. I'll buy the beer. Of course, I don't drink, so I would have said, can we have soda? So you go over there, and the two of you get up on the roof, and you just start hammering away, or use the nail gun, or whatever, and you get it done twice the speed. And then there's the other group of people who believe there's the help is you come over and do it for me while I sit around and watch, smoke cigarettes, and drink beer. And I seem to always get suckered into those kind of help scenarios. When somebody wants help, they want me to take care of them. And so each time that happens to me, I get further away from people. I just don't like them. I remember we had a new neighbor, my ex-wife and I had a new neighbor, and a young couple. We lived in an elderly neighborhood, but they came in and rented a place from one of the elderly people, and it was a young couple. They were, I think, a little bit younger than us, but we understood each other at least. Came from the same world. They came in right around Thanksgiving, so, you know, just newly married, not much money, you know, the whole thing. So we made Thanksgiving dinner and took it over to their house, had Thanksgiving, and we quickly all became friends. Well, it wasn't too much longer. She started using illegal drugs. So we had to split away from them. But they were constantly asking for help. And we knew what the help was going for, but we didn't know how to say no because we already initiated the friendship. So how do you break away from a friendship because they're having a problem. So it got worse and worse, and they kept asking for more money and more help and more of this and more of that. And pretty soon I was driving them everywhere. So it ended badly. I had to, scream and holler at them, tell them how big of fools they are. It just put a wedge between me and people. No matter how hard you try, people seem to disappoint you. So Carolyn's had the same experience. The older we get, the more we don't want to be around people. There are people in my audience who think I'm mentally ill. Made a video not too long ago about that. As a matter of fact, I'll put an up next box to that video at the end of this video. They felt like that I was mistreating Carolyn. Everybody thinks I'm mistreating Carolyn. And that there's something seriously wrong with me to want to be here by myself and never have people around. I've just never had any really good experiences with people. I know I have a terrible personality. I absolutely know that. There's a reason for it. I'm not going to share that reason. It's nobody's business but my own, but there is a reason why I have a bad personality. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as I'm not hurting anybody. So it would seem logical to me that if I have a bad personality for a logical reason, and I say, well, instead of going around and just being mean to everybody and grumpy, and you ever seen that Clint Eastwood movie, Gran Torino, where he sit on the porch and he was grumpy to everybody? Just a grumpy old man next door. Well, I guess that could be me. Well, instead of being grumpy to everybody in the city limits, why can't I just be grumpy on my own property and not affect anybody? But that seems to be wrong. So not only do I have to socialize, I have to change my behavior, even though there's a logical reason for my behavior, because society says you have to have friends, you have to help people, people have to help you. We are a social being. Well, I know that social people like to say that, including scientists. Scientists are very social. They have to be social so they can conduct experiments. But one of the smartest people in the last 200 years, well, actually the last two smartest people in the last 200 years, were both recluses. Einstein, he wasn't very social at all, and Hawkins, he was so unsocial, he didn't talk, he had to use a computer to talk. So if scientists are isolating themselves, then why are other scientists saying, no, we have to socialize, it's a requirement, we're social human beings? I don't feel social. So if there's something wrong with me, it's only because half of society believes that and they want to change you. And I've said this before in a video. People who are recluses, they understand other people who want to be social. We get it. Yeah, okay, I understand why you want to be social, but I don't want to be. But social people don't understand recluses. They want to drag you out. Well, we thought that if we became nomads, we could get away from people in the national forest, travel and see the country. But that just wasn't true. There was always people around. One time we were in Florida. We were there first, parked our pop-up camper, backed it in, had the truck there. There was another group of people who came to camp, and they parked their camper in such a fashion that if we wanted to leave the forest, we wouldn't have been able to, not until they moved their camper. And they didn't even have a clue that we didn't want them that close to us. South Carolina was another one. We parked there, and he had to squeeze in between a tree and us. I really thought he was going to hit the tree to get in where he could be where he wanted to be, and hooting and hollering all night long. Of course, we're in a pop-up camper. You want a beer? No, I just want to be left alone. So we left that. It wasn't for us. One time, we were at Arizona, up north in the North Rim Grand Canyon. And we're in the truck camper, minding our own business, the door's closed. Some guy comes over. We thought at first it might have been a subscriber, recognized the camper, but it wasn't. He comes over, opens the door, howdy neighbor. What? So people just seem to think that they can't intrude on your space because they just want to be neighborly. They just want to talk and communicate. I've said many times in my videos, I just want to be left alone. If you want to learn anything from me, great, watch my videos. If it's not too complicated and you want to ask a question in the comment section, you can ask a question in the comment section. I will try to answer it. But if it gets too complicated, typically what I do is I just make a video about that question. And I say, I had a subscriber that wanted to know about. But other than that, I'm not here to offer any other services. I'm not here to go over to your house and help you put in solar panels. But somebody just recently emailed me and said that they want to know where we live. And they went into great detail. They want to live off grid. Well, I replied back that I'm not interested in telling people where I live because it can be dangerous for us. I've talked to you about that before. People show up and it's quite scary. So we try to stay hidden as much as possible. And every time I say that, people will start to actually look for me and then send me links. Hey, I found you. Well, why are you looking? You're a stalker. And quite honestly, if you get too creepy, I'll just hand you over to the sheriff because it's illegal to stalk people online. But they do. So this person replies back, I think I know where you live. We're going to start looking for property near you. And what we would like for you to do is come over. When we get a piece of property, I'll contact you. I would like for you to come over and help us set up our solar panels and help us build a tiny house. We could be great friends. I'm sorry, I missed where it benefits me at all. It sounds like you get all the privileges of my experience and help. But where was, hey, we can do this for you or do that for you? I didn't hear any of that. Nothing. It was all, you can come over to my house, you can help me build a tiny house, you can help me hook up solar panels, you can help me raise chickens. I want to get cows. Do you know anything about cows? And it just went on and on about all the things they wanted me to do for them. And I don't even understand it. But that's not the first time that's ever happened to me. People say this all the time. They just want me to come over and do everything for them. And there's two types of help. I've told you about this. There's the type of help where I come over and we drink soda on top of the roof and hammer and shingles. Or I come over, you sit there, drink the beer and the cigarettes and smoke the cigarettes while I do all the roof. Well, that's what these people want. They want me, they want me to set up their site for them. And I don't even know where you get an idea like that. Where does that come in at? Why would you think that I would want recluse me to go over to your house and do all your work for you so you can enjoy all the benefits? And you didn't even say, hey, I'll pay you. There was no offer. It's just, you're on YouTube, so therefore you must want to help everybody. I don't get it. I mean, I've even gotten people that say, you can't be a recluse. You're on YouTube. You're talking to people every day. No, I talk to a camera. That's all this is, a camera. As far as me put it online, it's just a video. I don't have to look at you giving me dirty looks or like, hey, wait, no, that's not right. You got to do it my way. Which is what I get. People come in the comment section, they get rude with me, I can block them. But it never works out. People want to take complete advantage of you, tell you exactly what you're going to do for them, just like our neighbor who decided that our friendship was about me and my ex-wife taking care of them and their children. It's just not who I am. So if you're going to move to my location and you're going to come onto my property, first of all, you're going to be trespassing. I will call the police. And you're going to tell me to come over to your property. You're going to be surprised when I tell you, well, I won't say it on YouTube, but no, I'm not doing it. If you want to learn how to build a tiny house, you can go to my channel, go to playlist, look at tiny house build, and teaches you everything you need to know that I could teach. Beyond that, I'm not doing it again. As a matter of fact, I am burned out I'm never building another thing. I am so burned out. That thing burned me out so bad trying to do that by myself. I just don't understand people, and it's so frustrating how people can think that this is normal. Where is it that you get to do anything for me? I've never understood that. Well, we could be friends and you can do all my work. Ha ha, what a great friendship we got. Okay. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was telling you somebody thinks I'm mentally ill. So I hope I can inspire you. If you need help, pitch in so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.